Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 12th of September. Um, Today's we're going to get a little bit heavy, and I'm going to say in advance for me, I don't know about the rest of the crew here, but I'm going to espouse some things that I believe, and it will upset some people, especially AJ, because I'm going to be talking about one of AJ's favorite people today.
Not
AJ
stirring the pot this early.
Hell, what, man? Come on.
Oh man.
Asians people's AJs, that's who slurps their drink. The same way that black people drink Kool-Aid. Anyway,
And eats watermelon.
and eats watermelon. But we have some theories about what has progressed with the Charlie Kirk saga. And I'm going to say that the things we're going to espouse is mostly with respect to with regards in respect to the parent, his wife and children. We're not trying to be speculative for to try and degrade his memory with them, but we do have some questions about what's been presented to us. We don't believe certain things that they're trying to tell us are real, and that includes and not limited to who they say the shooter was. We just got questions about that. That don't seem okay. It just don't seem like he is the kind of guy that would nail a 200-yard shot, neck shot, one, having 4 different scribed bullets waiting. I can't, nope. And after a rock back, because he grabbed the mic, talk, put the mic down, lean back, and then, nope, don't buy it. Don't buy it at all. So first we're going to listen to the press conference. And then we'll get into the concept of why I think and why they think this is more than what meets the eye. Here we go. I think we have to go to like here because he doesn't talk for quite a bit.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
And that was my first inclination to think that something wasn't quite right. I'm just saying, it sounds like you guys were hunting for the president's killer, and I can't buy that the first thing you say is, we got him.
It sounds like they wrote it the day before, and it was like, all right, here's what you're going to state. Start off with, we got him, to get their attention.
Yeah.
Sounds fake. It's so fake.
I can see that.
I just don't. I'm sorry, man. I just don't buy that.
On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th.
I've looked at the photos of the ones that were circulating, and I look at the photo of the guy they have. I don't think it's the same guy. I'm sorry. That's not the same guy.
I don't think so.
The one in the picture that was floating around, more mature face. Maybe if you were to go by the versions of Batman where you covered like the top half of the face with a mask, I could probably see it. But that person was nowhere near as young as the person they arrested. And you know how? Hey, look, I'm gonna say it. White people don't age like that, so I'm sorry. That's not him. That's not him.
In which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU.
Now, has anyone seen and more The social media has been going around, have shown him younger. Have you guys seen any current pictures of him?
Just the mugshot, maybe.
So, yeah, the mugshot, but also there was a transcribed. Somebody transcribed his face during a debate that he had with Charlie. Did some Photoshop work and kind of sort of transposed his face with the sunglass face, or vice. Either way, somebody did a Photoshop and it kind of matched up ish, I think. But with him with sunglasses, I didn't see the connection. I only saw that one guy debate Charlie, and he was a fruitcake monkey, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't know.
The narrative that he's a Republican, I wouldn't be surprised if he was a Republican. I'm not saying that he couldn't be a Republican, but just because he votes Republican doesn't mean he has his mental faculties. Not all Republicans think straight. Let's just be honest about that. And we call out both sides, and we know when retards show up, they come on both sides. I mean, for crying out loud, there are right extremists and left extremists. We're not stupid enough to not think that they're not one on both sides. And so just because you tell me he's a Republican, you think I'm going to give a damn about whether he's a Republican or Democrat? If he has the kind of ideology that he espoused in his books and in the so-called things that they found, if it's him, I don't give it. Look, put the man where he needs to be. Okay? Different cemetery, same location though. Same depth. I don't want no trial. I don't want no case for it. Just put him under. If you say this is him, that he did this and you found him at these locations, you can track. If that's him, what trial are you trying to put him through? For what?
And when it comes to them saying he's a Republican, they said the same thing about Trump's, the shooter at Trump, the Trump rally.
Right.
They called him a Republican. They called this last weirdo at the school shooting with these kids at Catholic school, they called him a Republican. So they immediately call all these people Republicans because usually their parents are Republicans. So they assume that, oh, you must be a Republican too.
Which is the most asinine thing to even try and associate, because it's like, yeah, their parents may be Republicans, but the kids rebel. Mm-hmm. Like, are you daft? Like, I tuned into a Good Trouble live briefly, and he was also espousing that monkey talking point of, well, he was a Republican, his dad was a Republican. Who cares?
They're weird. They are absolutely weird.
Stupid, retarded. Ugh.
Chimps.
They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits.
Okay, I'm going to say it.
Same.
No sane individual, even the most of insane people, wouldn't take the time to tell everything they did, and it just so happens you found everything that they said they had there. I'm sorry. No.
And Marlon, what's that rule where someone gives too much information when they're telling you?
You're lying. Yeah.
That's too much information. I doubt they found all the information. That's made up. I joke, that's made up. You didn't get all of that.
You tell me now, oh yeah, I mean, I'm going to put the gun in the towel, and I did that, and then I made sure to wipe my shoes twice with my left hand, and then I changed clothes into these specific clothing. So if in case you see me, just know that's what exactly I did. I don't want any stones left unturned when you try to catch me.
And if you're going to assassinate someone, why would you put it on a Discord or all over social media?
Look, man, come on, give me a break.
I know there's been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well, and I will share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices bulges, capital OWO, what's this question mark?" Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point." Up arrow symbol, right arrow, and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow." And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who's worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're grateful for everyone who worked together in such a short amount of time to find this person and to bring justice. I want
to. The stuttering is what's really getting me crazy right now. Okay, like for real, the stuttering, all of it seems contrived. They all seem kind of fake. The song that he's referring to, it's a song, actually. It's called Bella Ciao. It's an Italian folk song adopted by an anti-fascist resistance. It was used during the Second World War by the resistance against the Italian Social Republic. That's why that statement of "Oh Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao" was on the so-called inscribing on the bullet casing.
Mm-hmm.
So now to the conspiracies. There are quite a few. The first one stemmed from people seeing people in the background of Charlie's events, his actual, one being his bodyguard, and 2, another person that was off to the right of Charlie in a white shirt. This guy here.
Yep.
All right. Now, this is what they're saying are signals for the shooter.
Those of us who serve in the military are a little bit aware of hand signals being thrown up. And these 2 men need to really be looked into with some of the sniper looking signals, especially coming from the guy in the white and the guy in the black.
Now, only one person on here I can ask that question, and it's Lee. No, I'm just it's
my answer is I don't know.
Lee has served 50 years in the military, 60 overseas with the Korean military, and 5 over here with the Savage Patriots. Bro,
and even still, like those hand signals are Western, not Eastern.
Oh, so sorry, my bad. You don't know.
Okay.
Are those actually true?
I don't know about the grabbing the cap in the front as sniper, because we always, like, whenever we said contact, or we always did that for, like, if we were in contact silently, so we would go like this, like contact. So I don't know. I've never used that like sniper. You know, we'd always do this, or we'd turn our rifle upside down and point that way, pointing towards contact. But I don't know. Like, I don't ever remember someone saying sniper. You know, I don't remember.
Now, if they're trying to mask a signal that would be considered for snipers, say, contact, but they did it like that, and they tried to hide it with the grabbing of the hat, so no one would really think that is that. I could possibly give you that, but I can't even say for sure. They said touching the side of the face in the military context, often the rubbing of the cheek, is a hand signal to indicate the presence of a male individual. Is that so?
I don't
Or is
remember
that
that.
is that for specific military groups? Like it's different from military groups from Navy to Army to Air Force. Is it different?
Or even special forces.
I mean, special forces being Army, I mean, they probably would use some of the same hand and arm signals because it's universal. Because if you're doing joint stuff, you want everybody to understand the same hand and arm signals. But I don't remember touching the cheek. I don't remember doing that. I don't like. I do remember the touching of the ball cap though, so we would to let someone know that we see something or contact. But
Gotcha.
I don't remember like sniper. I don't remember that.
What about that one?
What do you do right there? He touched his wrist.
Watch.
That is one. I don't remember what that one is. So.
The single hand held straight out in front of the body, with the palm down, moving horizontal arcs repeatedly means commence firing. When executed rapidly, it means to increase the fire rate. When executed slowly, it means to decrease the fire rate.
So single hand held straight out in front of the body with palm down, moving in a horizontal arc.
Wait. What?
That's what hey, look.
I get what you're reading, but I'm like, increase the firing.
Wait.
We never had hand and arms. It makes no sense. If I got a bunch of guys shooting, right? Why would they turn to me and look for a hand signal to commence, the rapid firing?
Especially as a sniper.
Yeah, we would have signals like this. This means to cease firing, but I forget what it means to fire. I don't remember. But
well,
I know
according to this, single hand held straight out in front of the body with palm down, moving in a horizontal arc. Repeatedly means commence firing. So if I want to speed up the fire, I do this.
I thought that was hip hop hooray.
Honestly, I don't remember. I don't remember. I just remember certain hand and arm signals, but I don't remember ever using a hand and arm signal to increase firing or commence. I just know cease fire because usually we commence fire just by firing. Hey, fire, boom, contact, and then it goes, and then we use hand and arm signals to pass it along to tell people to stop firing.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. That's probably some secret squirrel spook stuff that they're using.
But those hand signals shouldn't have changed over the years.
They say the left arm crossing the torso is a military hand signal to indicate imminent danger. So why would he be indicating imminent danger if he's just trying to tell the sniper to do stuff? That doesn't make any sense unless you're trying to warn other people that it's coming in. But who else would be watching and listening for that? If that's the case, then I would stick by my guns that it's an inside job. But they would also know when it's coming, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and just by their placement, being in an open form, an open venue like that, and you had direct eyesight of that building to Charlie's right, that high-rise building, why would they stand off from him if they're their security? Because your security's there pretty much to block anything that's coming in.
Right.
But they was kind of standing behind him in sight of that building right there. Why didn't he stand parallel to him, adjacent to him?
No sense. It doesn't make any.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
That was crazy, though. It does look suspect.
Yeah, I mean, what was he signaling to?
Okay, so if we go back to the guy in the white cap, he said, "Target ready." Is that what it is?
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been
Yeah.
in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
Then fire one, imminent danger. Target ready.
Over the last 10 years.
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Fire
Great.
one, imminent danger.
Yeah, and then he stepped forward and did that, and then stepped back.
And then the shot went off.
Yeah.
Right there was when, as soon as he put his hands down, the shot hit and he was gone. Shot hit and he was gone.
Damn.
Now, certain people were asked about their role in it. And this will be the first time I'm seeing this particular interview. So this was a Newsmax interview with a certain leader.
Oh.
All right.
Before I let you go, I want you to address one thing, and I've heard of the internet rumors that somehow Israel is behind the Charlie Kirk murder, and I don't believe it for 1 second, but I want you to make a statement. It's so absurd.
That's insane. That's insane. Israel also changes the orbit of the moon. Israel pushes the sun. I mean, the whole thing it's not only insane, I think it's so absurd, so stupid, and so ridiculous. You can't believe that people are saying that. They just found the perpetrator. They'll get to the bottom of this. But they go, they have no limits. When you hate Jews, when you hate the Jewish state, you're willing to say anything and promote all these absurd rumors. And by the way, they're willing to kill us all the time. I mean, that's what they do. And over the centuries, when Jews, especially in the Middle Ages, the horrific Middle Ages, the worst things were said about Jews you couldn't possibly believe. We were poisoning the wells. We were drinking the blood of Christian children. You name it. I mean, these things. That continued actually up to the Holocaust. The Nazis said the same thing. We're carrying vermin, we're spreading disease, and people believed it. And every time they believed it, this was a prelude to a greater and greater massacre, culminating with the worst massacre of them all, the Holocaust. Well, since then, we've learned, when people spread these lies about us, prepare yourself for the assault. And they're trying to delegitimize the state of Israel. Charlie Kirk said to me that he wrote me this detailed letter. You have to fight the slander. These untruths, these vilifications have consequences. And he was right. But I'll tell you one thing. We're fighting on the battlefield against the terrorists and winning. And he was fighting on the battlefield of ideas. And I think he was winning. He was going to win. That's why they shot him. I hope they don't silence him. I don't think people will give in to these ridiculous, ridiculous lies.
Now, I will say this. There would be zero reason, and I mean zero in my book, that Israel would have canceled Charlie. Zero. I would quit if I were to believe the hype that Israel is all bad. I would see Israel moving to erase people like Miss Owens before they erased Charlie Kirk. Charlie never went against him. Charlie was a pro-Israel kind of guy. He was at the wall, the Wailing Wall, multiple times. In fact, he liked to go there. He considered Israel a holy place. So I don't see how that logic in any facet. And I heard Candace say that, he was starting to make a change in his mindset towards Israel. And I heard him say something about Epstein being a Mossad agent and possibly some other thing or a high ranking. He never definitively spoke as saying this is what he was. But she instantly gravitated to this idea. And this is the part where I think I'm going to have a viewpoint different than everybody else. She instantly gravitated. This is why it might be because he was starting to come over to the right way of thinking, which was the anti-Israel way of thinking, which I do not believe that he was ever going to get to because of his beliefs when it comes to the Christian faith. He would have never gone to that level. I could see him calling out Israel's misbehavior when it comes to their scriptural location, but I would never have seen him saying something about the way, at least the way Candace said it. So I don't see Israel being responsible for this at all. Now, I could see, hear me out, I could see someone on American soil trying to stoke tensions between right and left. And the best way to do it is to pick somebody innocent in the middle. And that would have been Charlie. Charlie didn't stoke any kind of angry mobs to go do anything. He was polarizing, yes, I'm not saying no. But was he polarizing to the type like Tucker and Candace? No. Mm-mm. He wasn't even polarizing to the kind of like Ben Shapiro. He was really midstream. So I don't see why they would take him out if it was Israel. This had to be something else. They had to take out somebody who they thought would really get people pissed off to act up. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I can agree with that. And you know, when it comes to Charlie Kirk, he wasn't one of these guys that went to these college campuses just to stir the pot. He actually wanted to hear the other side. And I believe that he was actually getting to a lot of these college kids that were kind of radicalized by the left. He was kind of bringing them more centered. And that's something that they can't have. We can't have this guy going around to these college campuses, changing these young people's minds about, you know, their political beliefs. That's our job, to indoctrinate them. And Charlie was kind of turning that. Little by little, he was kind of helping to change a lot of these kids' minds, and he became a threat.
Don't forget that Crowder tried to do the same thing, and he was only partially successful.
Yeah.
People start seeing him as more of a fighter than of one that was wanting to exchange ideas. Charlie was one of the very first one to actually be able to successfully engage people in conversation, still correct them, and they actually come back to talk to him.
Yeah.
He was one of the first. And he did it success. In fact, it had become so successful that more and more campuses had no problem with him coming. Remember, they banned Crowder from quite a few schools, okay? But not Charlie. They didn't do that with Charlie. And so to your point, yeah, they had to erase the influence he had. I could see that. And the influence he had also meant that he would be the perfect candidate for erasure to get everybody mad, left and right, to fight each other because the left would eventually celebrate it, and the right would think, why Charlie, and why are you guys celebrating it? And now we have an absolute powder keg waiting to just pop off. Now, will it pop off?
I agree.
I don't know. I don't know if it will or not. But I can say that I have suspicions about certain individuals in political arenas that might possibly have a hand in it. Even in the podcast arenas, that might have a hand in it. Is it for sure? I don't know. But I do know that the fact that some black people, some black females have a big podcast, came way too quick out of the gate to try to on Charlie as he was trying to come over to her side. And that was the reason why he might have possibly been. And see, once that happens, I got to stop putting you in the speculative corner, man. I'm sorry. If you're going to mourn your friend, don't say, oh, you know, he was going to come over to my way, I think. And you're safe. You're going to say, if he was just talking something else, I can see, but you've been saying this crap for forever, Candace, and you ain't getting touched.
Yeah, that's true. And she's been raw with it. I mean, you look at Candace. I mean, she's gone after multiple people, not just Israel. She went after Macron's wife. She went after Big Kamala. She went after Israel, and no one ever did anything to her.
Mm-mm. She's been safe.
Yeah. Charlie wasn't even a threat. You know?
Is this the one where they said this was him?
This is the Tyler Robinson. This is the Robinson guy that they're projecting him to be.
Oh, let's see if it is.
Come up to the mic. So now we know that you're like a blatant narcissist that needs attention at all times to cut in line. Tell us what's so pressing that you needed to interrupt us before he could even talk.
So let's talk about the 200 people deported without due process.
That's not the same guy.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not even a 22-year-old guy. That dude is older than that. I would say that dude's about 26. But he don't even look anything like the guy.
They're projecting because he's the one that's been staunchly hunting down Charlie, you know, to continually be up front and center to debate Charlie. So that's why they're projecting him to be the shooter.
El Salvador. I don't know if you saw this morning, but a United States citizen was actually deported.
It was not a U.S. citizen. That's not correct.
Liar.
It's not a U.S. citizen. It was actually
Come on.
no. It was someone that was living here. Yeah, it was not a U.S. citizen.
Hey, this guy just fucking lies. It's not. No. Hey, no. You wanna have it?
Does he sound drunk to you?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Hey, no. That's something.
This guy shows the typical left-wing emotional immaturity. You know, they can't debate. They can't talk. They always throw out these ad homs. You're a liar, and Charlie Kirk probably most likely knows exactly what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't want to get challenged, so he gets on the mic. He starts using his bullhorn. He starts screaming, "Don't call him a liar," to discredit him. It's typical behavior from these people, and this is why I say don't debate them. There's no need. It's a waste of time. Just let them talk in their little echo chamber. Let them do what they do. There's no need to respond. There's no need to talk to them. There's no need to have a conversation with them at all.
This guy's weird.
Debate, but you don't.
It was
debate.
not a U.S. citizen. First of all.
You want to have a debate, but you actually don't debate. There's nothing more ill-fated than this.
So
you're not.
we already have a mic.
Name 2 times. Name 2 times where you've changed
Show
your
me
mind.
you're losing without telling me you're losing.
What? So you're just gonna lie?
Well, first of all, it's not a U.S. citizen. He was living here for a while. He was part of MS-13. Answer yes or no.
Okay.
Should members of a terrorist organization be able to stay in the United States after they've murdered and gone after American citizens?
Obviously, no.
So we have deported those people back to their country.
He's a liar.
So
He can't debate. He just
okay,
lies.
so let's just
What,
calm
you don't
down
like
a little
freedom
bit.
of speech?
Well, I mean, you could say whatever you want if you want to make a fool of yourself, but we do have like 10-year-olds here and 11-year-olds, so can we have some decency?
Whatever.
Okay, you don't care. You're a typical leftist because you only care about yourself,
Who said I was
not
a
about
leftist?
the other people.
Who said I was a leftist?
Well, it's very clear by how you're acting. Come up to the mic.
Not the same guy, but I would believe that before I believe the 22-year-old.
Yeah.
I would believe that being the guy. He looks more akin to the guy, but that is not the guy they arrested. Like at all. Not even remotely the guy they arrested. Which is why we have questions. And this is not because we were conspiracy theorists. When something stinks, it just stinks. Look, man, come on. Look, okay. Look, I was trying to be nice. I really was. I was trying to be nice. But I'm not gonna be nice no more. Okay? Let me do this. Let me do y'all a solid. Okay? The person they want you to believe that was in the photo that they put out was this guy. Hold 1 second. Okay? This guy. This is who they're trying to convince you is the shooter.
Yeah.
This. Now, if you saw the photo, it's kind of one of you find the photo of the so-called assassin that they found on camera. I'm going to do something that a computer could do, but I think we three could do a better job than a computer. All right? I think we three could do a much better job.
A 22-year-old Utah local confessed Friday morning to fatally shooting conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
Did he though? Did he confess? Or
was he coerced?
Someone turned him in. That's the question here. Did he confess?
Well, they're saying his dad turned him in, right?
Yeah.
And so anybody can find a clear picture of that guy? Please locate a clear picture of the surveillance cameras that they have walking around at the time of the shooting. Please, somebody find that for me and send it to me, because I guarantee it's not the same guy. I'm telling you.
I'm looking for it right
Robinson
now.
was turned in after his father recognized him in photos released by the FBI.
Not even, bro. Come on, man.
Wait, Marlon. What did they just say? That his father turned him in after photos recognized him. Didn't they just say that?
After his father recognized the photos
Okay.
of him, yeah.
What did that, whoever that guy was, say at that press conference? Didn't he say he confessed to some people that he was the one that
his families and his roommate.
Yeah, so he's there. On one side, they're saying he confessed, and that's how they found him. Then they made the call. On this side, they're saying that his father saw the photos and turned him in. Which one is it?
I don't know.
Which
And
one
his son
is it?
admitted he was the gunman. Robinson's father asked him to turn himself in, but his son replied that he would rather kill himself. The father then convinced his son to speak with their youth minister, who called the FBI, and agents later took Robinson into custody. It's a far cry from where Tyler was only a few years earlier. A video posted by his mother and now going viral reveals the proud moment her son announced that he had received a college scholarship.
Okay. Congratulations. You have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters.
In a statement,
Excitement. Wow.
Utah State University, which is a different school from where the shooting took place, confirmed the suspect had briefly attended the university for 1 semester in 2021. Only about 2 months prior to the Charlie Kirk assassination, Robinson's father painted a glowing picture of family life with his son on social media, where he posted a video reel showing highlights from their Mexico trip together, in which Tyler was pictured happily showing off a fish he caught. Other pictures of the suspected killer that have emerged also feel almost chillingly normal, sharing a meal with his dad, grinning while riding in what appears to be a small plane, and seemingly enjoying a happy family life. The only photos which really stand out include one in which he appears to be dressed for Halloween in a Trump costume, and a number of others that point to an interest in various types of weapons. But how this young man went from this to this still remains a mystery.
Really? It remains a mystery,
take,
man.
I can't take. Oh man, just. I don't believe it.
Listen,
I don't.
Listen. If this is what they want us to run with, okay, let's go with what they say. Let's assume that this is exactly true. Okay, this is the killer. He's the one that shot Charlie, and he shot Charlie because he was radicalized by people and ideologues that have put clips together of Charlie being hateful and racist and bigoted and every other one of those words and buzzwords that you can think of. Let's say that's him. Let me put a question to the audience. If they have confession, surveillance, texts, all that, should he go to trial or jail? Is there anything to try? Why do we need to know why he did it? If he already told you, okay. Do we need to know the how he did it? Since you said you already know. What do you need to know for him to go to trial and not just put his behind bars and leave him there?
Or execution.
Or execution, yeah.
Because it is Utah.
Why? Why does he need a trial? If you caught him, right? Okay, cool. So what's next?
Yeah, why make a spectacle out of it? Just
why?
Get it over with. I sent a picture to the chat.
Okay. Take a gander.
They don't look like the same person to me at all.
Man, come on, man. Come on, man.
It doesn't. It doesn't. You telling me that's the same person?
That's what they want you to believe. You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put them side by side. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put these side by side. Now, I want y'all, please, to take a look at this. Okay, so this is the guy right here. Take a screenshot of that one. Okay, and then we are going to remove him. All right, and we are going to put the two pictures we have side by side. Now, when you guys see it, now remember, these are not months and years apart. These are supposedly only a few days apart. Okay, one took place at the time of the shooting, and one took place right after they found him, a day after the shooting, right? Okay, cool. At least that's what they want you to believe, right? Believe, man, believe. So let's find out how close. Let me get this nice and big so you can see it a nice Nice, clear, concise view of the man, the myth, the legend himself. Okay.
Hey, Michael, real quick question while he's pulling that up. From 200 yards away, how skilled do you have to be able to aim for the jugular? Using a bolt-action rifle.
With a bolt-action rifle, 200 yards away? That's what, 2 football fields?
Yes.
Right? You'd have to be a trained sniper. I'm not a sniper. I'm just a regular old marksman, infantry guy. But for that shot, a bolt-action rifle, probably with some type of scope, if you even had one, you'd have to be pretty well trained based off velocity, based off distance, based off wind. There's so many factors in there in order to make that clean shot like that. Not some guy off the streets, some college kid that knows a little bit about rifling could shoot 200 yards away.
Right.
Either it was a luck shot, a luck hit, or not. Or he was trained.
I get it, but I don't see the need for it. Not in this case. I really don't. I don't see the need for a trial of any kind. Anyway, here's the guy. Different nose, different mouth, altogether different face, different eyes, different jawline, different chin, different neck. Not the same guy.
The chin's the giveaway.
Look at the ears.
Ears too.
Now, the guy on the left would look like somebody who's probably some type of operator, some type of spook, some type of trained individual. He does look like that. But the guy on the right doesn't. He looks like some college kid that just learned how to wipe his butt, and he looks doped up right here.
What about guy on the left and the monkey that was trying to debate Charlie?
No.
Let's find that one. Hey, that's a good comparison. Let's try and find that one.
I don't see it.
I think that's what people are projecting.
All right.
The guy on the left does look like an actual killer.
That too.
He does. He looks like somebody that's trained. He's got that look.
I want to see if I can get his mouth where he's quiet and not talking. There we go. Nope, not even the same face.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the guy in the chat that was talking to Charlie had a super wide jaw. Right down here. This guy has a super narrow, almost like a Kirk Douglas dimple in his chin.
Now, Marlon, can you zoom in on the bottom of the lip to the chin on both of them? Keep going. I'm trying to look at the dimple. Go up. Now, the guy on the left has a
outside,
dimple.
Inside.
Yep. Not the same dude.
Not even, look at the nose. The cleft goes this way. That's straight and, come on, man, flared, flat.
Yeah.
Look at the distance between the nose and the top lip. Look at the angle of the lip. This guy on the left, his lips kind of go down. The guy on the right's lips are thicker. The guy on the left has a thin lip at the top.
Mm-hmm.
His lobes are straight. His lobes curve up. Not the same dude. Not even remotely the same dude.
I think we're stupid.
Exactly, Kat. An Adam's apple on one of them and not on the other. Okay, so a friend of mine, and I don't believe in the whole white hats thing and all that stuff. Okay, I just don't.
I do.
But he, this was his take on it, and he said that Trump is protecting Charlie, and he believed that the white hats are planning something. And I said, he said it was fishy, and he said Charlie Kirk is not dead. Zoom in the video in slow-mo and you'll see that there's stuff on his shirt. Something fishy is going on. I've established that's already part of the microphone setup that he has for his thing. That is not a blood pack like they'll want to say that it is, and it shot off and that's what came out his neck. The only conspiracy I can see is the why and who killed him, not that he's not killed.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie's dead.
What side did he get shot from? He got shot from.
Well, he slumped left.
He slumped, so he got I cut the from there. What this in the trajectory was here, and it ricocheted up and out.
Okay.
So is that what they're reporting?
That's what they from the trajectory of the hit. So that's why you saw him go like this, and he went because it went up and shot off the vest, and into his neck and out. So the guy might have been aiming for a center mass shot, and if it hadn't ricocheted, the vest would have saved him. But because of the angle they say he was coming at, it went shot up and right, up and through, which is why you saw him do this and then went over that way.
Okay.
And I've seen a lot of people say that the trajectory idea makes sense for the distance. I just don't know. That's an easy explanation for why there's no blood in going to the SUV, because they had to pack it. They're not going to just let him drip out. If they have blood, they're going to try and sap it, at least block it, stop it there, and carry him where they need to carry him, tourniquet or something. They're not just going to carry him dripping all to the caravan and stuff like that. I don't see why they would do that. But
I have a question. So at these type of events, especially with these prominent and conservative or left-leaning commentators, these people that get up here and do these things like this, would you say that they're like, it's usually a high security threat, right? There's always a possibility. It's something that security would plan for, correct?
Right.
Would you think? And would you think with the amount of people out there, there's about 3,000 people out there, would you think that some type of EMT or ambulance would already be on site, at the site?
Yes.
Okay, so with that being said, if EMT they should be on site always, because there's always a threat. Why did they just pick them up and carry him to an SUV and drive off instead of EMT being there already and putting them in the back of an ambulance and doing what they do? It's just a question.
Well, let's look at this here.
Yeah, I'm just asking a question because that's the way my mind works like that. I'm like, okay, high threat environment, a lot of people out there. You can have heat casualties. Anything can happen at one of these events. You would think that they would have some type of medical on site already, but they weren't. They picked the guy up, they drug him off stage, they threw him into an SUV, and they drove him off. There should have been an ambulance already waiting out there.
From all looking at the event, I do not see the presence of any 911 type of ambulatory or emergency response vehicles.
Yeah, but do you agree at an event like that, wouldn't that be part of their security or their support? You have your private security, you have police on site. We also have EMT always standing by on site just in case.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And I'm looking to see if there's any other let me see if I can find another debate event where I can see if there is other ambulances or anything like that around. And he's never had them, it looks like.
No, even some of the big name conferences that I've been a part of, there's always been EMT on site. There's even been EMT like headquarters tucked away in the venue.
I went to see Charlie Kirk in Texas at the live event, one of his Turning Point events, and the EMT was there too. Even though it was indoors, they were still there with police and EMT standing by outside.
But I also heard the Student Action Summit happened a couple of months ago in Tampa, and people were saying how light the security was for such a high value event like that. So I don't know.
Okay, so to your point, Richard, it does look, they say that, I don't know if they said yet how many shots were fired, but I have gone back and I'm not playing it because if I could show the impact only, I would. But there's no way to show you the impact without all the blood and gore. And we would get an instant strike on that.
Yeah.
But from what I saw, it did look like he got hit once. And then as he leaned one side, it looked like he got hit a second time. It genuinely looked like he got jolted again, but I can't be sure if he got hit or if one of his people jumped to grab him off of the seat and out of danger. I can't tell you for sure because the camera guy that was holding it, he took the phone right away right after that happened. So I don't know. Could he have gotten shot twice? Possibly. From another angle, I don't know.
You would
I don't know.
have. I mean, you would have saw two impacts. I only saw one impact. Was that initial one where his kind of shirt jumped up and he flinched? I didn't see his second one because he started bleeding instantly.
Mm-hmm.
That he did.
Kind of sounds JFK-ish to me. Same way.
Nope, it was somebody that pushed him out. So it was just one shot. Just one shot. Now, someone had said about his ring-changing fingers. Did y'all hear about that?
Yeah, I think he had one of those rings that flip. You know, it has a latch on it. That's what I read. But I don't know.
But it looks like it actually literally changed fingers. Like it went from his thing and it was on his pinky finger. And I saw the video. I thought that was kind of weird too. But
I don't know. You know, the world is a stage, man. Central casting. I believe that. So I mean, I just don't know. It's hard to. You have to question everything these days because we don't know what's real, what's not real, what that whole thing. If they want to think conspiracy theory. That whole thing could have been a freaking show for all we know. I mean, yes, he did lose. I mean, from what we saw, that's what happened. But who knows the way things happen these days, man? That thing could have been all set up perfectly. I don't know. But it did look like his ring flipped fingers. So I freaking don't know, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to see if there's another angle of the guy in the back is recording. He does the hat and he does the cheek. So does Charlie with his eye rub. He picks up the microphone, talks a little bit. The guy does a hand signal, popped him. Nope, just one shot. Just one.
Yeah, that's all I.
Yeah, just one. Here's the thing. Regardless of the why, really, in spite of that, this is going to change the landscape of many things, including how people operate on campuses.
Yep.
And I don't mean just people going in to talk to students. I mean students as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I would suspect that you might see more and more people be cautious about speaking up on campus about their support for Charlie. And if they do, you might see people act out towards them, and some of these people may not take it kindly. You may start seeing more and more people, because they're so comfortable mocking his death, that they might feel even more comfortable reenacting his death on someone else. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. And the reason I'm not surprised is because people are no longer functioning in the realm of logic. They're not engaging in conversation. They're just acting a fool the entire time, and this has become normal.
But then in that same token, then how do we ensure that they might have the ability and the freedom and the right to express such vitriol, but they're not exempt from consequences? And so it's not lost on me that if they decide to go through with that, somebody else also has the Second Amendment right to make sure that, you know, they get 5 to the center mass and make sure that they don't ever wake up if they even try to reenact.
Well, and that's what I think they're banking on. I do believe that the people that kick this off, this is the one reason, and it's why I believe it's an inside job. And when I say inside, I mean governmental on some level. It may not be the current administration, but if deep state, somebody had a hand in this. The reason they did it, at the beginning of the show, I said, is because Charlie made the best martyr, but not just any martyr. He was the best catalyst to jumpstart people on the right who are normally docile, like Charlie, into acting out of their nature and start behaving the way they say the right acts. Mm-hmm. They say we're the party of the violence and all, and that's what they're hoping will happen, which is why I've always advised people, don't give them what they're looking for, because if you give them that, they win. But not only that, now you've engaged in their game, you're going to give up your moral compass for them? Don't give up your moral compass for them. Now, I'm not saying don't retaliate if somebody does you something on the street. I mean, for crying out loud, a fight's a fight. But this concept that they're hoping for is to eventually mark the right as the problem, because they'll never mark themselves as the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And after President Trump is done, I have a suspicion you might see more and more attempts on anyone that's on the right trying to run for president. They can't right now they can't win. I mean, after this, then they can't win, but they'll find a way.
And this is something the deep state's always wanted. They want a civil war. What's his name? That rat-looking guy, Raskins, looks like a rat.
Mm-hmm.
He said it. Civil war conditions. This is something they tell us. They're saying right there in front of our faces, live on TV, what they want, and this is something that they can use to push. With someone that's a nice guy, someone that's never a violent guy, a Christian, and then they could say, okay, we can push these guys over the top, especially these Christian fundamentalists and these right-wing Christians. We can get them to counter, an eye for an eye type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they really want it, and it's good so far. The right's not out there burning cities down and doing the crazy stuff, because if the roles were reversed, it was a left-wing person, whoever, Check Sugar, whatever, any of them fools was to get taken out like this, the left would have burnt down cities.
Right.
Quick.
And
So
I've heard
good on the
people
right.
I've heard people calling for that on the right. Don't do that. Don't do that.
But I
Don't
understand the
do
sentiment,
that.
though.
Yeah, look, I get you mad. I get it. Like, as I told people before, I didn't agree with everything Charlie said, because my approach is different than everybody else's, and so is Michael's, and so is Lee's. So I don't have to agree with him to understand that his viewpoint came from a position that was trying to help America. He didn't have any. The differences I had with him is an approach. The second difference I had with him was on the religious side. The third difference I had with him was on certain allowances that he would have, but that was for his debate purposes. So I again, none of these differences I had with him were enough to say, don't listen to Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Politically, he was spot on.
Mm-hmm.
So I fear that what will come of this is a whole different type of move within the United States that will go away from dialogue. Not that it can really be had anymore. I mean, I'm hopeful, but that, to Michael's point, there's no talking to these people. But when that fails, we're gonna move to fisticuffs and all, just because. No, I don't. This will be bad. It'll get worse, especially with this crap that they're trying to put on us that this is the shooter, when it's clearly not the same damn guy. I don't know how the hell we're falling for this nonsense twice, but they did the same thing when it comes to, I believe, the shooter in President Trump's case. I don't feel that was him either.
Yeah.
Ironically, it's always two young people that have they wouldn't have the time to learn this kind of crap with guns.
That's true. And how come we know so much about this shooter? We knew his whole life, but the guy that tried to take Trump out, we barely know anything about this dude. But this guy, we know where he went to eat, where he went on vacation, all this stuff about him. They just put all this stuff out about him. But the last guy that actually tried to take out, a presidential candidate, we really don't know anything about the dude.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me.
Which is why I think that, the goal is to get us to act. Charlie was the perfect one. I hate saying it like that, but if you were going to take out somebody from the right to make the right act a fool, there's no other person you could pick. You could take out Tucker. People be mad, but people start to lose Tucker, and he was going a certain. You could take out Candace. It wouldn't make much sense to take out Candace, because the left nor the right would care if Candace goes. Let's just be honest. There might be a handful, but the Hoteps would be glad another coon black woman's gone. And then the people on the right were thinking she's kooky like me. Then we're not going to be glad that she's gone, but we're not going to be like burning cities down for Candace being killed. But they know for a fact, because here's what we would attribute to. Candace has been messing with a lot of international people. Candace went after the Macrons. She went after everybody. If one of those people decided to retaliate, that would be par for the course for those countries. Right. Charlie ain't done that for nobody.
Nope.
Charlie didn't touch a soul. Charlie never went after nobody like that. The man,
Marlon, the deep state, I'm gonna say it's the deep state, whoever did this, they knew that the right owned these open air venues like this. I can't think of any leftists that owned an open air venue like this. And that's where the most influence was coming in, especially to these young kids. These young kids were listening at these open air venues. So if they could shut down these open air venues and keep everything on controlled media and controlled TV, that's where these kids will have to go back to getting their information.
Right.
Not, going out here in the open air and hearing it like live is a lot different than hearing it on TV, because we know TV can be edited with AI, and you can do all types of stuff on TV. So they knew that the right, we own this. So now they got to shut the right down from doing this. And Ben Shapiro's not going to have the same impact as Charlie Kirk. I mean, he can go on and do it. He can try to take over or whatever, but Ben Shapiro is too condescending, and he's not going to have the same impact.
Right.
And he leans too much on with one group of people. He's just too hard on that. He's die hard with these people, and he won't call them out. And even the country within conservatives, we're still drawn when it comes to people. We'll call them who I'm talking about out, and we'll call out the other side out. But he's dead set. These people can do no wrong. We've been victims since our existence, and they can do no wrong.
Right.
So they need somebody like that to step in.
I'll tell you this much. It'll be very interesting to see the next couple of months and see how this case pans out.
Right.
To hear what next they bring to the surface about why he did it and all that. I can't wait to see that. Maybe see how many clear pictures they have of surveillance camera that they let loose as well. It'll be what's the best way? Interesting at minimum. Interesting at minimum.
They'll do what they always do. It'll be hype for the next few days, and that kid will be forgotten about. Or give it about 2 weeks. He'll be forgotten about, right? Just like the Trump kid. Forgotten. Where is he? Is he dead? I don't even know. They didn't take him out. They caught him, right?
The Trump guy? The kid?
No, they got him. They took him out.
They killed the kid.
Yeah.
In Pennsylvania? Yeah, he died on
he died
there.
They took him out. But this kid, he's probably gonna disappear. They're gonna change the headlines like they always do. They're gonna have a new shiny object somewhere. They're gonna be talking about aliens and freaking the rapture is coming up in September 23rd. They say so. They're gonna change it. They're gonna take everyone's focus off of it, and he'll just disappear. You won't hear about it anymore. But people like us and other conservative pundits and commentators need to keep pushing this. We want to know what's going on. We want to know the truth.
Right.
And they're just going to make it disappear, man. That guy's going to be back in society somewhere, and he killed himself in jail or something,
That's a possibility.
If he goes.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
All the fanfare over it, again, it's to placate. And I'm not saying that Trump has something to do with it. But I don't understand how this particular capture is making sense to logical people. I'm sorry.
And even when they first talked about him running off the rooftop and he jumped and he had this gun bag that was flopping around, I was looking at that. So the gun bag, he didn't even have the rifle in the gun bag. You can tell he was carrying one. It was just flopping around. He fell down. They're like, he left imprints with his Converse sneakers, and that's what they put out. And then when they showed a full body picture of him, what do you think he had on in those
Converse?
Freaking Converse. It's to make people, it's all that psychological warfare. They said Converse. Oh, he's wearing Converse in this photo. Must be him. That's him. He has on Converse. Instead of just looking at it,
So it's just poor investigation on the part of the federal government.
Yeah, because they think we're stupid, man. That's the problem. And most Americans are. Most Americans can't even use their critical thinking skills. They can't look at something and say, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. They just go with it because they're all emotional. When you're emotional, you don't think. So,
yeah,
I want the truth. And I think the truth is going to come out, and it's not going to be him.
We'll see. By Monday, we'll probably more than likely have some more information on it. We'll keep our ears to the pavement and the tree barks and everything else where sound travels. But we'll be back come Monday. Friday, I'll be here. Monday, not this coming, but the 22nd. I'll be not here, nor Straight Talk, nor anywhere. That weekend is my anniversary, and I'm taking a trip away from people, so I ain't deal with nobody.
That's the weekend of the rapture, they say.
That's good. Then I'll be raptured with the spouse. I'll be good to go.
I'm not making jokes. I'm just saying that's what's going around.
Hey,
right now.
and I say I'll be ready to go when it's time. I'm good.
Pack your bags. Yeah,
I'll
you
be
don't
gra-
need no bags.
I'll be grand. I ain't packing. I ain't gonna need no bags. I'll be good.
Yeah.
I don't know how the rapture is happening because there's tons of things left to take place. But hey, if they know something I don't, then good for them. I mean,
Hey,
it must be happening in Africa or something. I don't know.
I'll be ready.
We'll see. But we'll be back come Monday. So please, in the meantime and in between time, I'd like just a thing. Please take whatever videos you can and start spreading them around the interwebs. Okay.
Yes.
Because we could use the views to pop back up. We're moving up in the subscriptions. We've gained 38 subs within the last 4 days. That's really good.
All right.
And since we're monetized now, it'd be nice to have y'all start sharing as much as you can the stuff out there for us. Please.
Yes.
We could use your hand. Okay. Yes, I am begging for you to intervene on our behalf. I'm begging you. If y'all can't help any other way, please start. Yes, AJ, we is monetized here on the use of the tubes.
We got it back.
We got it back. We got back our monetization because we behaved over the last 6 months.
The fact you have to say that.
Yeah.
Little bit.
And I'm not saying the ending part because it's a trite saying. It's literally, please go like, share, comment, subscribe.
Yeah. So please, it means a lot to us, and it's not a whole. I don't consider that too much of a hardship to ask you. Okay, pick a video you think might go somewhere that you want people to know about, and just put it on your page. Fool, fat, fanny. Yeah, drop a bunch of F-bombs.
You know what? You should make a montage of Marlon going off. Every episode he goes off like, you fat, you gay, you're out. And just make a montage like of all Marlon's clapbacks.
And call it what? Outrage Central?
Yeah, something. It'd be hilarious.
Patriot Crash Out.
The crash out. I'm trying to change everybody. I am, and I don't just mean my clothes.
It's a journey.
It's a long journey, like a journey to the west.
Yeah.
I feel like dang Wukong at this point. I ain't never gonna get there. Monkey King. In any case, Mr. Lee.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we will see y'all next time. Peace.